Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's a loaded question. They don't necessarily like the reading organizers, but they all understand that it does help them read through the material. And it's, again, since we do that with the A+ class, we do that with the Cisco class, we do that with the security class, they're used to that format. So they don't really complain about it. They just plow into it and make it happen. They always love the lab work, and we're really hoping to get more hands-on activities that we can expand this with to pad it and put some meat on the bones, so to speak, to make it that much better. Because what we've got is a really good framework, but given our timeline and what it's taken to produce that, we really haven't gotten any further yet.
Excellent. Seems to go on for many, many, many hours. Okay.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
they start with A+ with Jim Dorsch, and he'll cover that, get them A+ certified, and we have him covering the first semester of the Cisco program now. Then they come to Melvin and I the second year, and we pick up the second semester of Cisco. And then we give them a choice of either going directly into Security Plus or continuing with semesters 3 and 4 for Cisco. The ones that take the 3-4 option with Cisco can come back for one additional semester to do the Security Plus on top of the other work. So it can either be a 2-year or a 2.5-year program, depending on how the students want to lay it out. Yeah, we'd love to add some operating system
Right, and I
material
imagine
in with
these,
the Security Plus class.
unfortunately,
And
a
actually,
lot
we
of
may
these
plug
will
some of that
probably
into
need to be kind
all
of,
the other programs, depending on
tweaked
how well it lays
as
out.
new activities come along and to be updated and so forth. But that's just, this is a fantastic start. I know a lot of these studies are pretty much straight from the Security Plus, so that's actually great because it's kind of tying to the Security Plus exam as well.
I'd say at least a third of them will go directly to the local community college here, Frederick Community College.
Tell me when to stop.
I would
Is there
say
labs?
probably 50 to 60% will go directly on into a 4-year college. We have 1 or 2 students a year that will drop or stop college in effect and go directly into the workforce. But I'd say the vast majority directly onto college.
Excellent.
Yeah, actually, we have a really sweet deal with FCC. The students who maintain a B or better through the program take 26 college. It's almost a full year. And it's all the advanced coursework, so all they have to do is go back in and pick up their English, math, science, and a handful of electives, and they're done. They have their associate's degree. We've Mm-hmm. They all
Yes, yes,
they
yes.
all work beautifully, and it's a nice mesh.
Mm-hmm.
We're working on that, but not many at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Bev, I see your question on the club. Since we're not a comprehensive school, we're a technical school, so we
Now, I did notice
bus
that
kids
some
in
of
10
the
Frederick County high schools,
some of the chapters
and
did
then they
not
bus
have
right back
tests.
again,
Was
and
there some
we
of
don't
them
get them
have more
before
like
after school unless they just happen to
some of them
drive. So
didn't
we
have
don't
tests. Is
honestly have
there a
any clubs here.
reason there was you
I
just
mean, everybody's a
combined
member
them
of
or
Skills
something?
USA, but that's co-curricular, so we can do it during class. But other than that, we're out of luck when it comes to after-school activities and clubs.
Got it. Okay. Okay. Um,
Again, computer science. We have a number of students going to Capital College specifically for security. Other than that, we send them all over the place.
Okay. Okay, I'm just catching up here with it. Bev says I would really like to have the A plus and Security plus information. So we're gonna. That's what we're here today is and good tweaking. So good. So we're going to try to make the Security plus available to everyone. Maybe we can convince Rob and Melvin to share their A pluses as well. But I wanted to open it up for questions of just the material so far.
Primarily A plus, CCENT, CCNA,
everybody should have a
and Security plus. Now we do offer the Net Plus. It hasn't taken off as big, but usually by the time we finish the first or second semester of Cisco, every student that's taken it's blown through it.
Rob, talk to us. If there are any questions, just type it in there if you don't have a microphone on hand. But Rob and Melvin, share a little bit about
all right.
About what the
Jim's
students
pass rate,
like, dislike, how
about
to get the
60%,
kids
50 on average.
engaged.
The
Are
A
there any
plus
other activities, sort of lessons learned that all of us
for
can
the
kind of take back
CCENT and CCNA, it's in
share?
40 to 50%. The Security plus, in my class, I had 10 students, 7 attempts, and passed on their first attempt. We do push them pretty hard here. I mean, I have to admit, I am really proud of our pass rate. Bev, thank you for the link you sent. That is fantastic. We just tried this year setting up internships with the local
materials.
NSA offices.
How is your sequence in your
not NSA,
particular
but,
school or your
NIH.
CyberSecurity?
I knew there was an N in there
what
somewhere.
Is the kind of the sequence
And we've got a couple of students that'll be working with them next year, which will be a paid internship over the summer, and then they volunteer. Okay. Yeah, they work for free for the following year, and we're curious to see how well that works out. Now, Nick, I see your question here on labs and the computers, and yeah, everything here is on the school network. We are heavily firewalled. Melvin's laughing at me because we really are. For years, they wouldn't even let us on the county network. We went through a completely separate ISP. But this year, they did switch us over to the county system. We're firewalled within our own labs. we are autonomous. We can do anything we need to.
Okay.
Kids can have
And
administration
the ones
within
they
this
do the
lab.
Security Plus, they're going to
Kid
do
gets
either the Working Plus or the
3 monitors,
operating
and you
system.
use the Oracle VMware. You've got to have so many operating systems. It's virtually impossible not to do it without the VMware.
Right.
And
And
we're
then
running
do any of the
the
students
XP and VMware. We run the original version of
get
XP. It's in the
engaged
book.
with on their
XP
own
with Service
with
Pack 3,
any of the cyber defense
Windows 7
competitions,
Pro,
or
Server
what are
2008,
most of
Server
them doing afterwards? Are
2012,
they
Linux,
articulating to
Backtrack,
the
and
local
we throw the
community
Android
college,
OS on there just for
or
fun. And we found running 2 monitors off of 1 computer has helped make the connections a lot smoother when you're pulling up 2 different operating systems and making them communicate. If you have to do it through your network, through the VMware, it adds an extra caveat that makes it a little more difficult. I mean, it's doable, but you end up beating your head on a computer screen a lot.
And the ones that are
By having
going
2
directly
monitors on 1
into
system and pulling up 2
Frederick Community College,
games on the same
are
machine,
they transfer any of
it
these
just
credits in?
makes life a whole lot.
Okay. Okay, so that, in other words, the courses that they're going through, the Cisco 1 and 2, the Security Plus, those all transfer in then? Okay. And then Bev is asking a question here. She says, are there
Anyway,
any
anything we've got, we'll
internships for
happily
high
share with anybody
school,
else. So if you need
that
it,
are
either
available to them?
let Davina know or let us.
Right. And that's, I think, kind of standard across. I know even some of our 2-year institutions have a tough time with that.
We also use a program called Deep Freeze.
Now, what about
Maybe that
the
would be
ones
something
that
good
transfer
to
into, or the
throw
ones
out there
that
as
go
well.
to the 4-year institutions?
Because
What are they mainly
at the end of the
entering
day,
in?
when
What
our
programs
machines
are they
shut down
going
and
in?
they restart, everything goes back to a good starting point. So if a student trashed a VM or did something on the computer maybe they shouldn't have, everything goes
Right, and they're
back to
just
the way it
going
was
into
before they got started,
engineering or computer
and it makes it
science,
nice and
et
clean.
cetera,
We
but
don't
then they have a solid
And so that's a
background
big
in the
part of it.
technical
You know, when we stop our VMs,
skills. So they're going
some
to
of
their
them,
4-year,
each
which
chapter,
a lot of times is more
they build
theoretical, but they
upon one
have
another.
the
And so we
hardcore
have to tell
technical
them that,
too, so
hey,
that's a
here's
win-win
4
for
labs that you
everybody.
have to do one after the other, or you're going to have to recreate some things if you
Excellent.
wait until tomorrow.
And which
But again,
certifications
once we restart that machine,
do
everything's
the
back
kids
to
take
normal.
in your program?
So we've got a nice starting area, and whether they got done or whether they didn't do it right, it doesn't affect us in the long run in that respect. That's a good question. We have 2 hours and 15 minutes per day
Which one is
times
the
5
tough?
days.
Do most of your
So we're
kids,
looking
they
at
pass
about
the A
12 hours a week.
plus, they pass the CCENT? Do they have to repeat? Just give us kind of a lessons learned there. That's fantastic. That is really, really fantastic. We need to give you a big hand. Isn't there let me see if I can find the little thing up here. Oh, there we go. I think I have a little clapping hand here for you then. But I think that's fantastic. I mean, that's better than some of our two-year institutions. So that is really terrific. Mm-hmm. 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 That's great. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. That's great. Wonderful. That's great. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's great. Other questions that folks have? Melvin and Rob. We have folks typing, so I'm waiting for it to pop out. Mm-hmm. Nick asks, are your VMs available? Mm-hmm. 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 That's great. Now, Bev asked about how many hours a week do your students spend with you? Mm-hmm. Okay. And Nick shares that he uses the videos that came with the book, that there's videos with each chapter. Did you guys make use of those videos or? Mhm. Mhm. Oh, Nick says just for me, not the students. My fault. Um, so one question I have, when you say that so there's 3 people teaching Security Plus, or are you saying when they enter the program, they take like A plus, and this is the format we use, and that way the kids are getting used to a format or a delivery system? Hmm. Got it. Got it, got it. And so that probably helps in a number of ways. One, it probably is easier for them to, um, in a way, keep up because they know sort of the sequence and the format and so forth. And then, two, it allows you to have kind of a set, I'm sure you
Directly
have
and
same format, but you tweak it or update it, but the majority of it is kind of preset. So that makes it a little bit easier, and that way you can kind of crank through it rather than having to, like I see a lot of teachers who are sort of developing as they go, and then it makes it a little bit difficult for the kids to kind of keep up with as well. Mhm. 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 Mhm.
mhm.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm. And I think that you also in your docs, um, there's one file that has Flash. Is that correct? Or am I losing my? I could be losing my mind. Yeah. Okay. So I'm not losing my mind. Okay. Excellent. So there are some flashcards that are already for you that you can use that Robin Melvin developed, and that is one of the files that is in the box for you to be able to access. So that's great. Mm-hmm. Oh. Now, tell me, do any of the students, I know that you have them quite a bit, 2 hours and 15 minutes each day, but do they also take this material home? Can they set up their network at home to practice? Do you have that many kids that do this, or not so much? Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm-hmm. 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 Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. And so another question is, for the topic, the standard Security Plus content that most of the books kind of follow the same sequence because it's kind of mapped to the exam. But what are the topics that the students have the hardest
Melvin, we need your cricket
hardest
sounds for the background.
time grasping the concepts? What have you found, or do they get it all? Mm-hmm.
No, not yet.
Mm-hmm. And so any insight? Any other insight into what
Hello?
you have found and fruitful
Hello?
in
Hi.
moving those along and
Hello, can you hear me?
getting the kids to understand?
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Yeah,
Coming
no,
through.
at this time I'm still doing the A plus fundamentals and A plus advanced. To get security plus in here, but I think that next like CCNA. But that doesn't mean anything. Any student that wishes to go into these other certs, I will have, I extra coach class time or planning period time. Them the knowledge they need to get through the security plus if any ambitious enough to do so, because I do have the security plus axiom. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Little snippets included in the documentation you have, or those
Professor
are just,
Messer.
um, yeah, okay. Mhm. So the certificates and the public key
Yes,
are
sir.
the two of the items, two of the
Yeah, we've
topics
used those for
within
the
the Security Plus course that are
program the
difficult
last probably 2 years.
to grasp. And
I
so
haven't
perhaps
used any of them in
additional
Security Plus yet.
resources, materials that we could find to help in those areas might be nice. Mhm. Mhm. Okay, so maybe some